Crypto Warriors? It's Sergeant Crypto back at it again. Today is Saturday, August 8th, 2020. How many millionaires do you know who have become wealthy by investing in savings accounts? I rest my case. Robert G. Allen. Look him up. I have 3 stories I'm going over today. And the last one, I'm taking a lot of liberty with the last one. I'm going down the rabbit hole, so to speak. So I want you guys to bear with me as I go on this crazy little mind-bending journey. Let's get into it. Binance says New York banks can now use its stablecoin after watchdog approval. This is coming from out of the CoinDesk. The NYDFS, the New York Department of Financial Services, or the BitLicense scumbags, this week updated its green list this week to include BUSD or Binance USD, their stablecoin. This means that banks in New York area can now custody and list BUSD without prior approval from the NYDFS, but must still inform the regulator before adding it. So they still have to tell daddy what they're doing before they do it. Binance compliance officer Samuel Lim told CoinDesk BUSD can be accepted on an immediate basis by licensed entities. So if tomorrow JP Morgan decides to use BUSD, they can do so immediately, he says. However, although they can, why would they? They will use their own stablecoin, the JPM coin, or the JPM-ish coin, as I'm going to call it from now on. The only thing that I see happening that's good for this is the fact that this is one step closer for Binance US to get customers here in New York. This is one step closer for them to get their bit license approved. And also, it will give a company like an exchange like Gemini and Coinbase the opportunity to list BUSD, and also Celsius Network. It will give them the opportunity to list BUSD. This way, their New York customers, like myself, can start using BUSD as an interest-bearing product on the Celsius Network. That's the only thing I think is great moving forward. Here it is. BUSD is a white label stablecoin from the Paxos Trust Company, which the NYDFS approved to issue stablecoins in 2018. Bitcoin, Ether, and Litecoin are all on the NYDFS green list, as are stablecoins such as Gemini Dollar and Paxos. Notably absent is Binance Coin BNB, the exchange native token. The spokesperson declined to comment on whether Binance was trying to get BNB greenlisted. Binance US, the exchange local trading platform, is still not available in New York. Like I said, this is a step in the right direction for them to have that availability of their platform here in New York. Next, Bitcoin price briefly crashes to 11.2K after U.S. jobs data disappointment. We're starting to see Bitcoin react to things just like the stock market. So this jobs data came out. The stock market had a little hiccup today, and so did Bitcoin. The price of Bitcoin dropped to 11.2K on Bitstamp on August 7th after the United States stock market declined. Bitcoin recovered quickly from the brief crash, stabilizing at 11.6K. And this thing with Bitcoin being correlated, or it's supposed to be uncorrelated to the traditional markets, isn't looking so good. This narrative that Bitcoin is uncorrelated to the traditional markets isn't looking so good. It's not true anymore, because especially ever since the crash back in March, we're starting to see Bitcoin it is performing pretty much the same as the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. All of them, they're all performing the same. And this graph here shows it. This is coming from the Washington Center of Equitable Growth's economist Kate Ban said many of the newly added jobs would likely pay less. We added more jobs than most people expected, but the gains really were disproportionately part-time workers. To me, that means even if workers are coming back, it's to jobs that pay less, and families will be worse off. We're seeing a crazy situation here where they're trying to reopen the economy and people, get back to work and things of that nature. But it's not two well-paying jobs. It's not two jobs that it's all part-time because we got to still social distance and things of that nature, and it's just one big hot mess. And we as the citizens here in the US, we're the ones that are suffering for it. Macro factors. So one of the macro factors you're talking about is this whole situation with TikTok and WeChat, and the president signing an executive order to ban it, and the chances of countermeasures by China could increase, which might potentially affect stocks and therefore Bitcoin. To me, it should affect Bitcoin in a positive sense, meaning the price action of Bitcoin should shoot up if this trade situation or this situation with tech companies not being allowed here in the US intensifies and China retaliates. We should see Bitcoin price shoot up. Yes, stocks may take a hit, but Bitcoin should really separate itself from the stock market after something like that happens. And furthermore, we have the Treasury Secretary talking about them trying to have a compromise for this second stimulus check, right? Because that's what it really is, right? That stimulus check that they gave us, the first one, it was basically shut up money, shut up and go in the corner, take our crumbs and be happy. They're printing all this unlimited amount of cash, and the only ones seem to be benefiting from it are the people closest to the printer, Mnuchin and his crony capitalist friends, and the president and all his friends, Congress and all their friends, the Senate and all their friends, and themselves. They're getting fat. Meanwhile, the everyday citizen here in the United States, we are the ones made to suffer. They can't even come to an agreement that we need to send more cash to people because they're still out of work, or if they're going back to work, they're not getting paid the same amount because it's part-time. And so that means if they're going part-time, they're losing benefits, they're obviously losing money, and it's just a really bad situation. They are still getting paid their high six-figure job salary in Congress, and yet regular citizens are made to suffer. These are the things that causes revolutions. A peaceful way to have a revolution is to buy Bitcoin. But before I go down that rabbit hole, let's get into the next story. This one's coming out of Decrypt. Billion-dollar software firm MicroStrategy eyes big Bitcoin buy. Business software firm MicroStrategy is considering investing in Bitcoin. The company plans to invest up to $250 million over the next 12 months. I highlighted this 12-month part because in the video I did yesterday, it talks about dollar cost averaging and the fact that even if you had bought Bitcoin in 2017 at the peak, if you only had dollar cost average until now, you would still be up 61, nearly 62%. They're not taking that $250 million right here. They're not taking this whole 250 and then doing one big buy. They're planning to buy over the next 12 months, dollar cost average. So even big firms are dollar cost averaging is my point. The billion-dollar firm sees Bitcoin, gold, and silver as better options than holding US dollars. And that's a no-brainer. We will seek to invest up to another $250 million over the next 12 months in one or more alternative investments or assets, which may include stocks, bonds, commodities such as gold, digital assets such as Bitcoin, and other types of assets, said MicroStrategy President and CFO Phong Le. No brainer. Why alternative assets though? This is coming from the CEO and chairman, Michael Saylor. We have a large amount of US dollar on our balance sheet, and we have carried that for a while, said Saylor. Over time, the yield on our dollar value has decreased, and at points, we had an expectation that we would get higher real yields, and therefore there was no real urgency to address this issue. But as of today, we're expecting negative real returns or a negative real yield on our US dollar. Let me read that again. We are expecting negative real returns or a negative real yield on our US dollars. And that's an expectation that has materially changed over the course of the last 3 months. I wonder why. If you have large dollar values and you're hoping for any kind of return on them, that's faded, he added. Gold, silver, and Bitcoin are showing strength. No brainer, smart dude, he knows what's up. Here it is. Now, this is the part where I want you to follow me down this little rabbit hole. And here we go. This is their cash on hand as of December 2018, over $576 million. So we know that half of it is going to go to Bitcoin. The other half, they may do the same thing they did before, where they buy back stocks for their shareholders, buy back stocks in the company. Next, one of the other companies that I searched up that I knew had cash on hand and that I'm speculating, all right, this is total conjecture here, speculating may start to buy different assets, is Apple. Apple has nearly $200 billion in cash. As the CEO of MicroStrategy said, that's the name of the company, right? MicroStrategy. We get this right? Yep. The CEO of MicroStrategy said that he expects negative yields on his cash. Apple will not, I don't think, will keep cash, this kind of cash on hand, if they have to pay to keep it. They will, in my opinion, not financial advice, just me going down my own little rabbit hole here. In my opinion, I think that the likes of Apple and Berkshire Hathaway, who has over $122 billion in cash on hand, I think these two companies will look for alternative assets to save their company's wealth. So that means Bitcoin, silver, and gold. You let me know if you think I'm too crazy or if this is just, way out there and I'm just a crazy sergeant. Let me know in the comment section below if you think that Apple and the likes of Berkshire Hathaway will start to buy alternative assets like Bitcoin, gold, and silver. It's Sergeant Crypto. Let's talk about it in the comment section. Smash that like, hit that subscribe button, and I'm out. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all the support. It's Sergeant Crypto, and I'm out. Peace.